Michael Saylor just posted that they purchased treasuries instead of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor doesn't have, to be clear, a treasury company. He's got a Bitcoin treasury company. What's going on? I believe something genius. The crude oil market gapped down to now trading at $90, falling from 95. This is a consequence of the updates from the geopolitical situation over the course of the past 48 hours. It's been a flip-flop. You need to know what is happening here. Very, very critical. We'll go over the price of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is sitting at 76,700, seeing a small pump as crude oil dumps. A lot of people on crypto Twitter were pointing out that the 50 simple moving average is about to cross into the 200 that has historically ended bear markets. Is that true? Do I think this crossover is going to take place today? I'll talk about that. And overall, I think it's going to be a very informative video. The guy that sold the two Papa John's pizzas to Laszlo 16 years ago and received 10,000 Bitcoin announced a sad story to what happened to those 10,000 Bitcoin. You need to know. But I think today's video will be very, very extra informative. I really wanted to cover the privacy coin narrative and how Zcash is running to the moon and even Hyperliquid is reaching all-time high after new all-time high. I'll have to save it for tomorrow's update. So please destroy the like button. Let's see if we can reach 600 likes. The previous videos were, as always, phenomenal. YouTube has been complaining that the like button doesn't work anymore because you guys have been smashing it so forcefully that I think you may have broken the like button. Let's see if that's true or not. Destroy the likes and you will find out for yourself. The only thing that I'll mention about the whole Zcash topic, because I want to go into it in more detail in my next video, is that there is a bearish divergence, so be careful. If you have any overexposed longs, I would just consider this bearish divergence to be a little bit of a warning. Let's start off with the update in geopolitics, as that will have direct influence on Bitcoin price action. Marco Rubio this morning, or I guess it would be yesterday morning, said that there is significant progress made on Iran and that President Trump would do an update soon. Shortly after, President Trump stated that an agreement with Iran has largely been negotiated and will be announced shortly, like today. But, well, during that agreement, we were expected from various sources to hear the Strait of Hormuz was going to be open for that 60-day period of temporary ceasefire of 60 days, and they would work on a permanent deal. The Pakistani delegation were quite certain almost that there would be a permanent deal happening. And it all sort of broke down a little bit because President Trump stated the Strait of Hormuz would remain blocked until an agreement, a full agreement, would be signed. Then President Trump informed his representatives to not rush into a deal, and that time is on our side. A completely different tone from trying to get a deal concluded on that day. And President Trump, when we look at this Truth Social account, has been posting two questionable truths. If they are truths indeed, then we should be very, very worried. I hope and pray that the situation is over and concluded with no military aggression, as that is the best outcome for, in my opinion, everyone. But since we are a Bitcoin commentary channel, if there is military action, like what President Trump alludes to in his content on Truth Social, that the price of Bitcoin would fall. It's a very tough time to speculate. We cannot speculate on geopolitical events. We learned our lesson the hard way. Every day is something new. Even the president changes his mind daily. So I don't want to speculate on geopolitics. I want to remain with the technicals and just keep it clear. We spoke about my expectations for Bitcoin in the previous videos. So I don't want to go back into the bear flag, look into only the 200 daily moving average, the bump and run reversal pattern. I think you guys got the gist on those. Instead, today I want to cover a different story, a story that has been blowing up on crypto Twitter. And that story is the 50 simple moving average about to cross into the 200, which will mark something known as a golden cross. Golden crosses, when they happen in a bear market after a death cross, which takes place earlier on in the bear market, ends the bear market and starts the bull. This happened in 2022. It happened in 2018. As soon as you had the golden cross, you reversed back into the upside. The Genesis cycle was a bit strange because you didn't have so much data, so I don't want to talk about the specific relationship in the Genesis cycle, but we can talk about it for 2018 and 2022. Those are the two cycles where Bitcoin, price action-wise, is following almost identically anyways. Hear me out. In 2022, the 50 simple moving average on the daily got close to the 200 daily moving average, but it didn't actually cross into it. My opinion is I don't see any reason to FOMO or get excited until or if it will happen eventually. But until we see the 50 simple moving average actually cross bullishly into the 200, I wouldn't concentrate on this so much. On the other hand, when we do see this bullish crossover take place, I'm going to be long significantly on derivatives. Keep that in the back of your mind. I will make a video once that happens. Is it going to be in the next 2 weeks or in a couple of months? Well, time will tell. In the very short term, Bitcoin has reached very critical support. We must hold it. If it breaks, then we're going to see 72, 73 of the bear flag. And if that is lost, it will signify a reallocation or a reacquisition of the 60K lows. It's Memorial Day. On Monday, Tuesday, markets are not going to be operational. And if my memory serves me right, whenever markets are closed, President Trump gives volatile decisions with geopolitics. So be careful over the next 2 days. We could see some statements made without having the markets in mind so much, because we know that President Trump likes to give volatile decisions when markets are closed, and he doesn't really seem to care about Bitcoin and the effects on Bitcoin. To conclude our video, guys, Michael Saylor and the pizza guy. So Michael Saylor has announced a cryptic message that's not really so cryptic. He does this every Sunday. He refers to a new acquisition of Bitcoin for his company's strategy. It has been different on this tweet, and it's been different for a couple of weeks. Ever since we had the new idea, the 180 degrees on Saylor's image of never ever selling Bitcoin to buying more Bitcoin than you sell, things have not been the same. Today, Michael Saylor posted that they have purchased bonds instead of Bitcoin and that the BitVac is charging. Guys, Saylor doesn't own a treasury company. He owns a Bitcoin treasury company. I think what he's going to end up doing is having these treasuries get him a set fixed coupon, and with those coupons start a strategy bank where if you and I wanted to get a loan, he's going to pay the interest and the interest he receives on his coupons, or he's going to use that interest to buy Bitcoin. I don't know the exact plan, but I think long term it's bullish. It's just in the short term could be bearish, because he does not rule out strategy selling some Bitcoin by year end, and he wants to achieve the ultimate maximization Bitcoin per share by 2023. So over the next 7 years, he could be not accumulating as much Bitcoin, buying instruments like bonds to build the bank, and then buy Bitcoin later on down the line. See, the end point with that one is that I don't think what Saylor is doing with his company will plummet Bitcoin. I think it will have a long-term positive impact, and that's really all that matters. I would watch out on the price of crude oil. Crude oil is dumping as I speak right in front of you, sitting at $91. It's forming a giant Bart Simpson pattern. It will eventually come back to $67. It's just a matter of time, and it will come back whenever a deal is actually signed by both parties and we get confirmation of it. Until then, crude oil will remain higher for longer. And as it remains higher for longer, we're going to get higher inflation and no rate cuts. Speaking of rate cuts, we have the core PCE data lined up for Thursday. That is the Fed's preferred metric for determining where the interest rates should be. A heads up, I know President Trump is excited about the economy and he's bull posting the stock market, but the stock market is not a direct reflection on how the actual underlying economy is performing. I would much prefer to look at the GDP, where you can see what exactly a paycheck of an average American is able to buy them. You're in a bear flag, you're heading into the wrong direction, where the cost of living crisis is getting I can't even speak, guys. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I apologize, but it's coming back, okay? And it's all because of the broken financial system that we operate within. The government prints money from thin air to pay off its immediate debt, which leads to more debt to be paid in the future. And it's a vicious cycle, a vicious, nonsensical cycle where the government is powering its own self by printing money to pay off short-term debts. That creates long-term debts. They print money to pay off the long-term debt, and so on, so on. That is a wrap. No, it's not. The man who received 10,000 Bitcoin, $775 million from Laszlo 16 years ago in exchange for 2 Papa John's pizzas, revealed that he spent all of that Bitcoin to fund a road trip. How upsetting, genuinely. But he seems to be at peace with it. He's in nature. He seems to like nature. Maybe that's how he's coping. I wish that he copes along with that decision for the rest of his life. With the nature that he's immersed himself. And I see that it looks like it's helping, because I don't know if I could ever get from my head out the fact that I spent 10,000 Bitcoin on a road trip. I would probably revenge trades every single day to try and make it back. Seems that he's happy and I'm wishing him all the happiness. Guys, I'm so tired. I apologize. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're looking for a place to be trading cryptocurrencies, check out the links in the description to our partners down below, where you will get the best bonuses. Hint, BTCC is currently offering the best bonus, so check it out, and I'll see you on the next video where we go into detail on privacy coins, depending on where you're from. The pronunciation is going to be different. Just be careful with your Zcash positions, because we do have a bearish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame. Thank you, take care, and bye-bye.